Hi, I'm Larry Taylor with The Word in Focus. I'm calling this series of short videos Myth Busters. And the myth that I'd like to talk about today is the myth that somehow the 2020 presidential election was stolen or the process was corrupt, or that there has been massive voter fraud and that most of the votes that were cast for the Democratic candidate are fraudulent votes, illegal votes. There is absolutely no evidence of widespread voter fraud. On the contrary, all across the United States of America, all 50 states, this 2020 election has without question been the most secure election in the history of the country. More people voted in this election than in any previous one. And that's a good thing. People participating in democracy. The majority of those people voted to elect Joe Biden as President of the United States. We have a rather strange and, in my opinion, archaic electoral system with the Electoral College and delegates, who cast their votes and, that whole thing. And we could make a strong argument, as many have, that the Electoral College ought to go away and that we should simply elect based on popular vote. Well, if we did not have the Electoral College and we based this on popular vote, then Joe Biden would be president. We do have an Electoral College, and based on the Electoral College, Joe Biden is the President-elect of the United States of America. In fact, he has the same number as of today that I'm recording this. It's Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. And as of today, I realize there's some recounts going on, that sort of thing. But as of today, Joe Biden has the same number of Electoral College votes that Donald Trump had 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, Donald Trump pointed to that number and said that he had won by a landslide, even though in that election, he lost the popular vote. So now we have a situation where, by Mr. Trump's own definition, Joe Biden has won by a landslide and also won the popular vote by a significant margin. And saying that the election is in question, refusing to concede, refusing to allow the president-elect to be a part of crucial briefings and information, is an existential danger to the United States. Now, I'm not commenting here on who I like best or who I wish had won the election or who I wish had run but didn't run or didn't get nominated or any of that. I'm just talking about the myth that somehow this election was stolen, or that it was fraudulent, or that massive numbers of illegal votes were cast. None of that has any credibility. And as Christians, we are called to speak the truth. So before we hit retweet, before we jump on some Facebook thing, we need to examine the facts. We need to have open, teachable hearts. We need to have the humility to recognize that, well, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I've been listening to some inaccurate voices, some biased voices. Perhaps I've been biased. That's humility, a teachable heart that says I may not have this right. And so then we begin to dig in, look around, and study what's available to us from legitimate sources. And then, regardless of our political opinions or political persuasions or party affiliations or lack thereof, we can look at things rationally instead of spreading lies, false information, rumors, and conspiracy theories. Christians shouldn't be doing any of that. Thanks for joining me.